Hi, my name is Fran. I make knives and been a blacksmith for the past 15 years. I'm going to show you my opinions, resources, and where I've gone wrong so you can save money, material, and ultimately time. I'm going to give you a review on this Swiss Tech knife, right? They actually have them available at Walmart. My Walmart, for some reason, has quite a few good knives that I wasn't expecting available in their little locked up area, including Mora's. This one caught my eye because I always like Swiss Army knives, and their steel has always been pretty good. Being a knife maker, one of the most important things is the way things look, the presentation, right? Whenever you get a piece of equipment, you don't want to just throw it at you. You don't want to just wrap it in plastic or something like that. This presentation is pretty good, right? Yes, obviously some specs. It's VG10 steel. I'm not a huge fan of VG10 steel. I've had a few knives out of VG10 steel fail. Not fail because of them being bad steel inherently, but just fell out of one of those things that you shouldn't be doing with knives that I did. Yeah, but sometimes other knives will perform very well when you're not supposed to be doing certain things with them. I was actually chucking oysters with one, and it broke. So right off the bat, it has I mean, pretty cute little box, right? It has a thick 0.2 light stonewash premium VG10 steel, right? It's a little bit under a quarter of an inch, right? 0.2. Um, let's get into it. I mean, oh, okay. I mean, you can open it pretty off the bat. So, well, oh, okay. This is okay. One of my biggest pet peeves is oil on knives, right? And this is beefy as hell. You can see that there is oil on the micarta. Sorry if you hear honk noises. It's because of my pet pig. Um, Oil on the micarta, obviously because I reckon these knives are going to be stored for a little while, and they don't want them to rust. Man, this is really thick. At first I was like, yeah, BG10, blah blah. This is pretty. Look, ridiculous. I think this is borderline overkill. Put it down for a second because I know it comes with a sheath, and the difference between this one and the model down, which was $20 cheaper. Okay, that doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence in this, right? The sheath looks really nice, but what I say doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence in this is the fact that it comes with spare hardware. I don't like to include spare hardware because it kind of alludes to, hey, it might fail. I've never had one of these fail. I've had them fail in a commercially available product. I've had them fail in not commercially available products like handmade leather goods. But well, it feels pretty solid. I smell it because some leather smells pretty good. Um, yeah, I just stitch with a machine. It's not like it's too crazy. Um, so it's pretty much more or less a sandwich construction, and it has a piece of welt in the middle of much thicker material, which is great because it can protect the stitching. Let's see if it fits. Right, this is real beefy. Maybe because okay, so and then yeah, okay, so it fits pretty deep and pretty secure. Oh no, so uh. Yeah, so for mine particularly, the tip is right there, right? If I push more to be able to close it, okay, I'm hitting the button. I felt the metallic aspect of it. It's there. Cool. I mean, it has. I don't particularly like the clip, the slide-on clip. I like a more solid clip, but it seems nope. That would have been hey, whatever. It'd be like that. It seems like it has these screws right here, so you can take off the flap at the very top. One design flaw that I see with this is that you're trying to reach for your knife, and then how are you gonna reach for it? You know, instead of going like that, you have to, and then you don't have much control of the knife. Knife is pretty hefty. Knife goes flying. But that can be pretty easily alleviated with a little bit of not very good paracord included with the actual product. Has a little lore in there. Okay, so it has broad drop point, premium VG10 steel, robust blade, spine jimping. I'm indifferent on the on the jimping. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of carving with something so thick and beefy. This is going to be one of those resource knives that you just throw in there, and since it's not carbon steel, it most likely will not rust, or it shouldn't rust at all, and then you kind of forget about it, and if you need it, it's there. Premium micarta handle, thermal resin combined layers of canvas cloth. Okay, leather sheath, mediocre. Maybe not mediocre, but just not my not what I really make, right? Swiss Tech Story, inspired by Switzerland, rich history of craftsmen. It just sounds like some extra, fluffing, right? Some fluffing. Overall, my impression is pretty good. Well, mm, I mean, parts of the blade were sharper than the others. Well, we have some. I mean, that's pretty good. For some reason, it seems like the belly or so of mine is much sharper than the actual well, I'd say that's the belly, but the straight cut of that. And I have some. It seems like some factory like chipping or so. Because I haven't used it. You saw me open it. But aside from that, this is pretty cool. Sometimes it helps to be like, damn, do I want that knife? And let me see it on somebody. I mean, it's pretty good. You're not gonna break this. There's no flex. There's no nothing to it. Yeah, it's called a Haltbar. Yeah, I like it. Well, we have this little piece of paracord that serves no purpose. Oh, well, it's not paracord. It's just string. The hardware probably won't keep. And okay, so you actually can remove the very tip of this, and it would have been cool, right? If I'm very technical over the leather sheaths, right? Because they're just a sheath is just as good as your the knife that you're carrying it, right? If it flops off and it falls off, then there goes your resource, right? I wish they would have done something along the lines of giving it like this and then having a belt loop underneath it so you can do that, because once again you have your knife, it goes in there, and now you need it, and then you have to let me see one thing. Okay, so another one of the been making a whole lot of leather sheaths lately, and then having some feedback from some people. One of the feedback options that I get a lot is that whenever you have something that contacts a knife, right? Usually, if you do something like that, right, and the inside will be the opposite of that, right? The other little flat washer, right? So when you have the knife in and out of the sheath, right, then you're gonna create some scarring, if you will, right? Some damage to the knife, and you can already see it's kind of like torn up some of the micarta in there. So a lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll put a little piece of leather in there, they glue it, or they will do double something along the lines of double walled in there. But aside from that, yeah, I'm not a fan of the leather sheath, and Pig is coming. I'm gonna have to edit this one out. Hi, buddy. Oh, wow. Sounds my Harley. Aside from that, it's pretty. It's worth the $50 that I paid for it. Seems to have quieted down the storm. The pig. She's a cutie. She's on some other videos, but I won't bother. The reason why I'm kind of crapping on the sheath is I've been making a few of them and lately, because some people are just like, hey, can I have a replacement? Can you make one for this? A lot of machete sheaths and stuff like that. So I've been very involved with this, and that's been keeping me pretty busy. And obviously some research and development has gone into this, and I would expect that the company would have been like, oh, hey, this and that. Aside from that, the difference between this one and the other one, and from my eyes, right, I looked at them pretty quickly. It was the upsell was a leather sheath, right? The actual upsell was like, hey, this is pretty much more or less the same knife, but this is a nicer leather sheath. So $20-$30 difference. I got it at Walmart. It wasn't bad. But overall, hey, you want to go camping, you forgot your knife, at least you know that you can either go to Walmart, or at least my Walmart, right? You can pick up a Mora Companion, or you can pick up this one, right? And then you're set. You're golden. You're not gonna break this, right? It's I give it a nice 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Nice 90-degree edges. So if you had a ferro rod and you didn't forget your ferro rod, which I understand, but you did forget your knife, you're good. The ergonomics are good. I usually have a thing where I want a little bit more of a I don't know. Does that make sense? Like anti-slip something. So I like a handle that's a little bit more rough. And only thing that I do foresee kind of is that little nibbler right there, the little nibbler, yeah, right there. I would just hit it with a file or something. But aside from that, the steel, the everything, the fit and finish is pretty good. So, it didn't say where it was made, which was kind of funny. It says designed and developed in the U.S. And if it was made in Switzerland, right, it would be bragging all about it. So this has to be made in overseas somewhere. If it's BG10, I've seen a lot of BG10 be made in Japan, which is cool, reliable. But aside from that, it doesn't really say. But somebody will be like, "Oh yeah, it's made in China, so it's garbage." No, I don't think so. It's ultimately just where it's made. They still have quality control special. Oh, look at that, made in China. Yep, that's fine. I don't really care. Even if this is made in China and this is a butter knife, it's a $50 butter knife, and you will actually end up using it and enjoying it. I'm just gonna throw this in one of my survival kits. Oh, one of my last things that is one of my pet peeves, or not requirements, I'd say, about knives is that it needs to match the aesthetic. It needs to match the looks, right? You go on bushcrafting or you go on camping and you're trying to do all that survival stuff, and you pull out with a Rambo knife, right? Nobody wants to see that. Like it's like you have your $200 rucksack and you have your ferro rod and you have your sorry, you have your expensive ruck rack, you have your ferro rod, you have everything, and you pull out this and it looks good. But then some people pull out the I don't know, the cold steel insert here, and it looks very tactical and it might work, but I feel like it kind of ruins the experience. Somebody's gonna be like, well, it doesn't matter, blah blah blah. Not everybody has a resource. I'm just like, well, cute little, I don't want to say cute, but attractive looking knives that match the aesthetic, that vintage look, are not that expensive. $50 is very affordable, and you get a pretty good quality of steel. And if you put that on your belt, you're gonna look at somebody and be like, hey, that looks good. That looks like a nice looking knife, and it doesn't look like you're going to war. You're part of SEAL Team 6, and you know what? That's the ones that I have the pet peeve with. The SOG, the SOG, all their knives always be looking so tactical, even though they're pretty okay, like the SOG Pup. But yeah, this is. I'm not gonna do a beating test, right? I don't believe in batoning. If you have logs this big that you need a baton with that knife, I promise you, where there's logs that big, there's branches that big. Call me crazy. I just don't believe in batoning. Making little feather sticks and everything. If you get this, go to the pharmacy section of Walmart and pick up some Vaseline and cotton balls, and pretty much more or less make the best fire starter there really is. For all intents and purposes and price point. Pretty good. 9 out of 10. I'll give you 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. I wouldn't mind depending my life on it. This is not gonna break. A piece of steel that thick, right? It's borderline a quarter of an inch thick. It's not gonna break. The factories have plenty of trial and error resources and experimentation that goes on. I feel pretty confident you can throw that in your backpack, and for all the resources and all the things you actually need, you'll be completely fine. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you like to see another review. I might go to Walmart again and pick up another one and be like, hey, we're going to continue this Walmart knife series. Let's go survive. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.